everybody, and welcome to another episode of Haunt Talk. In today's episode, we are going to be reviewing Fortress of Fear. This is the first time we've actually been there. Well, yeah. I was there at its old location, I think Garrettsville, but it's been in Alliance now for a couple of years, 3, 4, I don't know, something like that, and it's, I don't know, it's in some kind of park where there's also, like, I think they might have miniature golf there in the summer. I'm not positive about that, but they have, like, go-karts and stuff.
It's actually called Fun Times Fun Park.
There you go.
I actually had to look it up, just because I was curious to see what, like, if they were open regular time and stuff. And, yeah, it's like a little, like, if you're familiar with, like, the Cleveland area, it's like a swings and things, or, you know, something like that. They have, like, amusement park rides. They have go-karts, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so just like a fun little, like, summer spot. And I know I've seen in, like, winter they've advertised they do, like, glow tubing and stuff like that. Okay. Like, you, like, basically it's sledding on a tube.
Cool.
Lights. But, yeah, if you want to freeze your butt off in the winter, that's something to do. But, yeah, before we get right into the review of this place, we are wearing our Haunt Talk shirts, which we've been advertising in the other videos. So if you're interested in picking one up for yourself, go to our merch store. You can also get in hoodie form, bags, cups, that kind of stuff. So yeah, getting that helps support us, and we think it's a cool design. Also on the back it says Haunt Talk in Japanese, which you'll see in the little video that's playing. I'm not standing up to show you my back though. Also make sure to check out our Patreon if you want to help support us. There's like different tiers and stuff like that where you can get like different goodie bags and that kind of thing. And if we get enough patrons, eventually we plan on doing exclusive content, but have to get there. Also, if you don't want to do a monthly thing like that, you can hit the super thanks button right on the video itself to give us a little tip. Help support us, and to keep, if you like these videos and want us to keep making them, that's a good way to incentivize us to keep traveling all over to go to these places. Let's get into the review of Fortress of Fear, which means we must refer to the Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead!
Right, so again, this place is in like a little amusement park, so they kind of embraced that, and so you kind of go into like a big Midway-ish kind of area, all set up carnival or carnival, however you want to pronounce it, with a bunch of clowns and everything like that, which we'll get to later because there was a lot.
Yeah. Now, this area is not a ton of theming as you walk up, because, again, it is a Midway, but they do have it lit up. Now, we didn't ride any of the rides. We'll talk more about it in pricing, but you can get a ticket where you can, like, ride some of the rides and stuff like that. But I think they had, like a lot of, like, try to make you hurl rides, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it looked like the one they did have filled up with fog with, like, spooky lighting and stuff. And I think that was, like, a Music Express type of ride.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a Music Express. They had the Tilt-A-Hurl. They had go-karts.
Go-karts or glow karts. You actually can do go-karts at night.
Yes.
And that might be part of that package. We'll look it up later. But, yeah, so that was fun. But it's cool, though, as you're walking down the Midway, you do kind of see off in the distance the actual haunt.
Yes.
And I didn't expect the haunt to kind of look so cool from the outside.
Yeah, it actually had a really cool facade. It was kind of like a spooky castle kind of thing. And, yeah, it was really cool off in the distance. It was, like, glowing and everything. I'm sure he'll have a picture.
Yeah, because it'll be the thumbnail, but I'm sure I'll insert a picture here as well. Yeah. So once you enter, there's like a little tiny pre-show where they have you stand. It's like you're there's a fireplace, and then they tell you to look at this mirror that's to your like left of the fireplace, and they're going to summon Bloody Mary, and then the lights turn off. And then when they turn back on, there's an actor in there with you. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. The mirror I don't know, because the mirror is very obviously a screen. I think it was supposed to do something.
I think it was supposed to do something too, and it didn't do anything.
Yeah. So I don't know, but whatever. And then you crawl through the fireplace.
Yeah. That I always like when they have like different entrances for places. Yeah. It's always fun like that. And they actually had quite a few in this
They did have. Now, you didn't actually have to get on your hands and knees, but you did have to like bend over. You had to duck and go through that way. Not full hands and knees, though. Yeah. Kim hates that stuff.
Oh, I hate it. I have a bum knee, and, you know, every so often it just flares up, and it was like, I really hope I don't have to get on my knees.
So in the first area, I'm not really sure if it was a maze, but we did get a little bit lost. It kind of felt like a maze.
Yeah. I don't even... It was curtains. Yeah. And they were just...
But some would like lead you to the wrong area because like an actor was like wrong way, and I'm not sure if we were in an area we weren't supposed to be, or if it was just a maze and it was like, haha, we tricked you. I think it was like a maze.
Yeah, I think it was a maze because there was like numerous curtains that opened, and I just kind of randomly picked one and hoped for the best.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. Eventually, we got out of that, and then into other like areas. There was a really cool cemetery scene that just really beautiful. It was actually really pretty.
Yeah, that was all the way like at the end of the attraction. Yeah. It does go inside and outside. I didn't know it was going to be more of like a trail. Like,
yeah,
it kind of reminded me a little tiny bit. I mean, they're very different haunts, but a little bit of how 100 Acre Manor is.
Yes.
Of how you would like go in and out of all these different buildings and stuff like that. But yeah, there was like a little courtyard area you go through. There was a cool church, like a church built back there, and you had to like weave your way through the pews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know there was it was towards the end, but there was a cool like witch's shack. Like you kind of walk down to the woods.
Yeah,
you
had to walk down this little terrain and get to this little witch shack, and she was there, and she had like tarot cards and a bunch of stuff, and she's cackling at us, and that was pretty cool.
Something that was kind of freaky is a lot of the paths they make you take. A lot of them are made out of like gnarly looking like fencing and stuff.
Yeah,
and they're real tight.
They're very
like
tight.
Some you almost feel like you don't have to, but like you almost looks like you're gonna have to go sideways. They're just wide enough where you don't have to do that. But you're like, oh my god, like, and it makes it claustrophobic because of course when you tie the actors into it, because this place is a little more actor centric.
Yes.
Yes. There is some cool stuff in here though. Honestly, I was surprised by.
I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, because I didn't really. I'll be honest. I didn't have high hopes.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like kind of in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, I don't know, but I mean, those are always the ones that surprise you the most.
Yeah, I mean, it's right off the road from Alliance. It's really not like, but I mean, like the way the place sits back there, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But I had liked it previously when it was in Garrettsville, and I feel like the spirit of that attraction in its old form is still prevalent. There was a cool thing. We just described it as the haunted overload looking thing. Oh. If you don't get that reference, that's a haunt that we haven't been to and desperately want to go to, where they have like a bunch of these crazy wood structures, like creepy wood faces and stuff all throughout the haunt. They have something like that you walk through, which was cool.
Yeah.
There's a couple different like buildings and that you will go through. Like it ends on one that's like a lot of blue light and fog, which all the fog like tries to choke you. At one point they have like the military scrim hanging down. You have to kind of like duck and like go through this like tunnel.
You have to duck under that because it was kind of weird. Yeah.
They did have a really cool Reaper animatronic. That was neat. It was like this big like angel thing with a sword, and it's like wings. I think might have flapped a little bit or something.
His wings and his head like moved, and I think the sword actually lit up too at one point.
So that was really neat one. Yeah, this place is more focused on the actors, but I did like the pathing and stuff. Like, there was a lot of, like, oh, now the floor's this way. There was one where, like, a room, like, had the ceiling slanted, so you kind of had to, like, walk like this. So all that stuff is, I like it, and it adds a bit of texture to the haunt. So I enjoy that. We gave Sets and Props a 7.75, so it was good. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't an overabundance of sets and props, but what they did have there was done pretty well, though.
Yes, yeah.
We did enjoy that. So now on to actors.
All right, so like I said earlier, the area in the front is kind of set up like a carnival Midway, and there are a lot of clowns. And of course, we got bombarded. They just came at us from every angle. Did scare us a few times from coming out there. The one actually asked me my name, which I know you shouldn't really do that, but I gave him my name. So, of course, every clown knew my name and was calling me that. But he did give me his name. His name was Skittles. Hi, Skittles, if you're watching.
They had, like, little weapons, and, like, they had, like, it was smart. They had, like, placement of, like, metal barrels around where they could sneak up and hit one while you're by them. The way they would just, like, run at you was real freaky, because they would run and, like, kind of slide, because it was a gravel path. They would, like, slide in the gravel, like, at you. Whatever the guy named it, Purple, he was cool.
Yeah.
But it was neat when we were leaving the attraction, because we, like, had to leave the way we came in. They still remembered her name, which was cool. And the one clown had me smell their flowers.
Oh.
Which smelled like rotting corpse or something. Horrible.
Oh,
Just stuck it right in my face.
bad.
I thought it was going to squirt me with water, so I actually did, like, hold my breath. I was wrong. Didn't squirt me with water. It just made me want to vomit. So that was fun. The clowns are actually really cool. I imagine, like, if clowns scare the shit out of you, this is going to be such a horrible way to start this event. Because I don't think there are clowns in the haunt, actually. There wasn't any circus theme in, which I like.
No, there wasn't anything in the haunted house that was clown. Yeah. It was all just in the Midway.
Yeah, a lot of the inside was traditional theme, which I like. But yeah, so I think it's funny, like, because even I was like, this is a lot of freaking clowns.
It's a lot.
I
want to say there was at least 10.
There's so many clowns.
There was a lot.
Yeah. The Bloody Mary girl was cool. She I don't know, I think she comes out of the fireplace directly.
Yeah, the thing I liked about it was because she was in black and white. Like, her makeup was black and white.
Yeah.
Her hair was costume were black and white. And it really added like a weird, like, because, usually when you think Bloody Mary, you think somebody covered in blood or, like, just something grotesque like that. And she wasn't like that. She was just black and white. She was ghoulish looking, but she was painted completely black and white. And I really liked that. I thought that was a good take on Bloody Mary.
It was really cool. No, I don't think the actors here had a ton of dialogue. But man, there was quite a few of them. They were just popping out of all the orifices.
Yes, they were.
Like, just everywhere you could think of. And they would scare you at, like, kind of messed up times. Because, like I said, like, the way this haunt's designed is there's not a ton of sets and props, but, like, the weird paths they have you take. Where it's these real tight things. There might just be a hole where someone, like, will reach out in front of you.
Yeah.
Or, like, they'll just, like, make a noise in your ear. Like, right after we got done coming out of that, like, military, I don't know what to call it, but the military, like, scrim stuff hanging down. There was a guy in a ghillie suit that as soon as Kim went out, he, like, put his head in front of mine, and then he kind of got me again just a couple seconds later because of the way it was structured. There was a really cool, like, mannequin fake-out scene in here as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because the room was, like, super dark lit, and they were all in black clothing.
Yes.
And one was real, but they just looked like shadows because it was so dark you could just see them. So you would just see movement, and it was freaky. Not really even a jump scare, but it kind of freaked me out a little bit.
It was really, really freaky. Like, I walked through, and I'm like, okay, one of them's gonna get me if they're all, like, something. I'm not sure.
I remember the guy in the confession booth in the church. He startled me twice.
Oh, yeah. Repent. He just screamed it, like, super loud.
The chainsaw guy was really good. Like, he freaked us out a bit.
Oh, yeah. He got in my face. Like, literally, we were touching noses.
Yeah, because he had, like, a mask on.
Yeah,
like
he had a mask, like a skin mask. And,
or something.
Like you do. And he just was right there, and he just kept, like, just breathing.
Yeah. And he was like a bigger, burly guy, because he did it to me for a bit afterwards as well. Just had the chainsaw revving in his hand and it was cool. It was creepy. There's a really cool girl in the cemetery who I actually thought was a statue, and she didn't, like, run out at us. This one didn't, but she all of a sudden, like, spread her wings, and I'm like, oh, that's a person. Like, the way she was lit, I didn't even realize she was there. But yeah, just overall a lot of. Oh, there was one that was really cool. They had, like, this thing where she, like, came crawling out of the ground.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool. I don't know if she was a zombie or what she was supposed to be, but that was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool because she was like kind of like in a grave, and yeah, she just came crawling out.
Costume was pretty decent, but a lot of them were in, like, the dark because of the hiding, so I didn't get to see a lot of their costuming, but it was decent. But yeah, we thought the actors were really good, and they did a good job. Lots of energy, especially, like, the clowns, because they did talk and mess with us a lot. But yeah, we gave actors a 9. There was a lot of them. There was very little dead space. There was a little tiny bit here and there, but maybe I'd like to see a little bit better costuming and maybe just a little bit more interactivity. But I was very pleased with the actors that were there. So now we're on to Scare Factor.
All right. Like we said, we got a lot of jump scares in this haunt. They had such good spots. They just came out at you, and, like, numerous times.
And it was hard to know where to look exactly, too, because of the way that was structured. Things weren't always obviously like a boo hole or something.
Yeah, because it almost seemed like it was maze-shaped, like almost circular in a way, but not. It was just really weird, because I felt like we were being wrapped around things.
Yeah, the structure, how they had the pathing laid out was interesting, yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah, they had a lot of really good spots. Not very gory.
Yeah.
per se. Like, I don't even remember seeing much except for, like, maybe the chainsaw guy was a little mussied up. But
yeah. I do think that this haunt feels a little bit more fun than, like, straight up terrifying. Like I said, there are a lot of jump scares, but, like, and I do think it is pretty scary, but I think that this would be an okay one to take someone not like real young, but a little bit younger too, because this also seems like the kind of place where the actors will be able to judge if a kid is basically being able to handle it or not.
Yes.
And also, I mean, the atmosphere is straight up fun because again, there are things at Carnival, like there's the carnival games and rides, the go-karts. It seems designed for families to kind of like want to bring your kids, and stuff like that. But now, don't take that as a like this is like a kiddie attraction because again, we screamed quite a bit.
We screamed quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, but like nothing super or like freaky or like upsetting. They obviously don't touch you here. They don't really use scents outside of that horrible flower that person shoved in my face. So yeah, overall, I think this is a really good one for both slightly younger, like for kids to have fun, and also for, but that adults will also completely enjoy and not feel like they're going to something that is for kids, because it's not aimed at kids, but I think it is aimed at like multiple like generations, which kind of like, and even though it is a trail, and there is some hills here and there, the terrain isn't real bad or anything, so like I don't think it's handicap accessible, but if that's something that concerns you, it's nothing like if you watched our Haunted Hills, where it's like a trail but it tries to kill you. Like, yeah, there might be a hill here and there, but for the most part it's pretty flat, even terrain. But scare factor, we gave a 7. We did think it was pretty decently scary, especially more so than I expected it to be. So yeah.
That brings us to value. It is $20 just to go into the haunted house. It's $30 for the house and extras, which I think gets you on like a lot of the rides.
So there is a Tilt-A-Hurl, the Massacre Express, Spinster bumper cars, and the go-karts. And there also, it looks like, it's called Zombie Combat, Zombie Abomination. I'm not sure if it's paintball or if it's like laser tag. We did not do it, but that's an additional upcharge if you want to do that. It looks like it's $8 for 1 or $20 for 3 people if you want to add that experience on. But yeah, and something else that's really cool for the Fear Pass, and the Fear Pass is the one that gets you all the rides except for the zombie shooting thing. If you bring a ticket stub from Factory of Terror, Haunted Schoolhouse, and Carnival of Horrors, you get $3 off of the Fear Pass. So I kind of like that they've worked with other local haunts to, basically bring you a discount in case you want to do multiple haunts in the evening. So that's cool. We just did the haunt. We didn't do any of the rides or anything. But we feel like $20 is very fair. It took us 15 minutes to get through the attraction, so that's like pretty average length.
Yeah.
And for what you get, we thought it was pretty good, so we gave value a 9.
Yeah.
You don't find many haunts under 25 anymore, so the fact that this one's 20 and is actually overall a pretty good haunt, we think that the value is very decent.
Yeah. So that brings us to our overall score, and we gave them an 8.5.
Yep. Don't sleep on this one. I would definitely check it out. Their website and like some of the advertising isn't maybe as like bombastic or as like insane as like something like Factory of Terror, Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory. But I think that you will be pleasantly surprised from this. Know your expectations. Don't go in expecting it to be as elaborate as Factory of Terror, but go in, expecting a cool structured haunted house with a lot of fun actor interactions and just fun jump scares is what you really should be expecting here. But yeah, I think you can make a fun night out of going to all the different local haunts and stuff. Like Factory of Terror and all of that. And we have a review for Factory of Terror of this year. We also have for Schoolhouse and Ghoul Brothers, which are also pretty close. Those are in the Akron area. But Factory of Terror is less than 15 minutes away, so I definitely recommend hitting both of these up in the same night. So I mean, that pretty much does it for the review. We are going to be heading to Cedar Point after this, so make sure you keep an eye out for that video. And make sure to like and subscribe, and also make sure you ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future upcoming videos. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.